This morning, there is a brand new perspective on the controversial practice of fracking. Does it, in fact, cause earthquakes, or is it some other part of the process or something else? Our
Dave Malkoff went to Oklahoma, a state experiencing an unprecedented number of quakes, to see firsthand whether oil and gas extraction is to blame.
You've seen stories about fracking before, but have you ever seen it in action? I didn't expect it to be this big.
It takes us about 3.5 weeks to drill this well.
These giant rigs are drilling all over states like Oklahoma.
Now, things have changed in recent years. So we're drilling all these things sideways now.
That way you can find more oil and gas with one drill. Oil companies break or fracture the shale to find pay dirt down there. That's why folks call it fracking.
Okay, so my name is Chris Faulkner. I'm the CEO of Brightland Energy.
The founder of this $400 million company has seen his industry boom in the past few years.
Oh, God.
At the same time, Oklahoma itself has been booming. Literally, with earthquakes. 3.0 quakes or higher were almost non-existent before 2009. Last year, they set a record. This year, there's been 200 already, and we're only halfway through.
I think it's pretty early in the game to blame fracking or to blame the oil industry.
You already know this. Fracking is a controversial issue, and it's been kind of a test to get someone to talk about this on camera. That's why we are out here at beautiful Lake Tahoe. There's a resort with a conference going on right now with geologists and seismologists. Maybe one of those guys will talk to us on camera.
There are enough irate people. I try to distance myself from that.
Dr. Austin Holland, one of Oklahoma's top seismologists, knows how touchy this all is.
What we're seeing is completely unprecedented.
He also may know what's causing the quakes.
We have active faults in Oklahoma.
Dr. Holland believes those faults slip in part because oil companies pump wastewater directly into them, deep under the earth. When those faults move, people above feel it as an earthquake.
It is truly remarkable, and we certainly have cases where we've identified earthquakes being caused by oil and gas activity.
Yeah, but he hasn't said what it's caused by. Is it water injection? Is it fracking? I mean, one geologist for one state, I don't think is considered a pattern.
Back in California, we found another seismologist who studied the wastewater injection and says
that fluid can essentially lubricate the fault enough that these old faults slip a little bit.
But they keep money to permitted wells. They're not just wells we go and find, and stick the fluid down the hole.
Oklahoma is beginning to crack down on how much water goes back underground and at what pressure. As scientists study what's causing these quakes, those drills keep spinning.
The trouble these states have today, if there's a quick to pass judgment and to ban fracking or to ban drilling, all they're harming is the state for the tax revenue and the local landowners who are lucky enough to have us out here drilling on their land. Their checks dry up. That's who loses. We still can drill on somewhere else.
You know, one positive outcome of all this, in the eyes of Oklahoma earthquake experts, that is it's helping them discover new fault lines underneath Oklahoma they never knew existed before. In Davidson, Oklahoma, Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
Which means they had been quiet. All right, this study suggests a pretty solid link between oil and gas extraction and earthquakes, but what is not known yet is how fracking and wastewater injection affect the frequency and severity of earthquakes. Geologists say it's going to take more data and more evaluation to determine the true risk to people who are living nearby these fracking sites and who are getting money from these companies who are going underneath their homes and fracking.